title is, I Have a Dream. I'm writing this to diffuse the anger towards the Founding Fathers and slavery, which only breeds hate that will only lead to the destruction of America. I believe that God formed America to show the world that all men are created equal by their Creator. Now, without God and Jesus Christ, we can't hope to be a happy nation. Abraham Lincoln quoted from the Bible, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord." Psalms 33:12. Let's look at Genesis 37. Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers. He was a slave for Egypt for a long time. God turns things around and uses Joseph. Later, Joseph's brothers needed food in a famine, and Joseph feeds them. He reveals himself and he forgives his brothers because they meant it for evil, but God meant it for the good. Romans 8:28. The Founding Fathers were just men, and people then owned slaves. There were also black men who owned slaves, and Anthony Johnson was one of them, including many more free blacks owned slaves. There were Irish slaves and Italian slaves. They were called indentured servants. At that time, this was how their labor was done. Now Abraham Lincoln came and freed the slaves and ended slavery. Many white people, including John Brown, fought to end slavery too. Abraham Lincoln honored George Washington and the Founding Fathers. In his Gettysburg speech, he said, 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated that all men are created equal. Many soldiers paid the great price, North and South. They both died for what they believed. Then Martin Luther King came with a dream. On his speech at Washington, D.C., he quoted the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths, that all men are created equal, with certain unalienable rights, endowed by their Creator. He carried the dream of freedom, and through the Founding Fathers' documents. For the mercy of God in Jesus Christ, let's never look towards the founders as bad people who only enslave people. Let's look at them as men who were not perfect, who had a plan from heaven above, which later other men took on to carry the torch. As Joseph forgave his brothers, if you hold this new mindset, forgive in your hearts the Founding Fathers, your brothers from another mother. God says in His Word to pray for our country and to honor our father and mother. Read Ezekiel 22:30, 1 Timothy 2:1-2, 2 Chronicles 7:14, Ephesians 6:1-4, and Proverbs 11 verse 14. So as Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King honored our Founding Fathers, let us too love our country, America. Please read Proverbs 22:28. Let others fly their southern flags and to have their statues. It should not offend you, but to remind us not to repeat the bad history in the old USA, or else in the future we all will lose this freedom we have. So thank God that the people enslaved other peoples, because you are the result, and free indeed at last. The American cause is morality through our federal Constitution and Declaration of Independence, which must be kept and not removed by the people. We must acknowledge God through Jesus Christ, which is our foundation, and not forget the Founding Fathers, which formed our country, the United States of America. We are all Americans with a great heritage that must not be forgotten. So let's respect other people's heritage in the USA that they died for, as long as we can all live in peace. Read Romans 12, verse 18. God bless America. In God we trust. Do you? One nation under God. Don't forget this. With liberty and justice for all, as long as we are under God. Louis A. Monaco. God bless America.